The celebration liturgical mass has been led by the chairperson of the Uganda Episcopal Conference, Right Reverend Bishop Anthony Ziwa. Addressing the youth, the Lands Minister Youth Nabakoba decried the increasing levels of drug abuse among the peers.
We are seeing many youths who are taking drugs, and such drugs are not good. They are crimes that are committed, crimes that are associated with drug abuse, which is not good for our society and for our children.
Mr. Nabakoba therefore encourages the youth to embrace development for the better future.
His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, Yoweri Museveni, has been emphasizing the youth. The youth are priority on our agenda as NRM government. There are so many programs, and these programs, when they are designed, they are targeting the youth. We have the Youth Livelihood Program, which is 100% youth. We have the PDM, 30% of the PDM funds are for the youth. We have the Uganda Women Entrepreneurship Program. Women who are youth, they can also benefit from those funds. And now we have a Myoga, where the youth also have a Omoga, which is called Omoga Gwabavubuka. So if they participate in those programs, they can improve their social well-being, but they can also look after their families well and look after even their siblings well.
Uganda ranks high among the top countries with the youngest population in the world, and if not well managed, there is a lot to worry about. Robert Nyanga, UBC News.
Now, government has established vocational institutions at every sub-county as one of the assist the number of school and can't have decent living in the field of employment. Many skills training centers have also been put into place under State House, and these train young boys and girls under the program that has seen over 5,000 youth who have been able to establish their own jobs in the field of home economics, bricklaying, among others.
This was contained in the speech by the First Lady Janet Kataha Museveni, Minister of Education and Sports, read for her by the Commissioner in charge of Teacher Education, Training and Development, Joseph Chikomeko, during the celebration of 20 years of St. Margaret College, Makerere Chikoni, of providing quality education.
A step further, through initiating the construction of our vocational studies facility. This infrastructure will greatly improve the quality of vocational training for our learners.
The Prime Minister Robina Nabanja extended her contribution for the construction of a new block and thanked Honorable Margaret Nantongo Ziwa for implementing President Museveni's call of skilling the young.
Despite the fact that you no longer have the other big job, you are still committed to serving your people. Ezo milioni 10 tandikira. Yamanya ago gonna gemulaba nkozesa oloza gange. Nechanga bwechanzira naye. Amani galina we gava. Abakitegedde mu kikubire mu
The Minister of Kampala Metropolitan, Honorable Mr. Kabanda, called upon Ugandans to be counted during the national census due to 10th to 19th May.
Okutubala fenna abali watulina okukkiriza batubale. Gavumenti etubala kubanga ina okuteekerateekera.
The proprietor of the school, as well the former Speaker of East African Legislative Assembly, Margaret Nantongo Ziwa, said the idea of establishing the college was to provide education to the disadvantaged young generation.
And he said in Kampala, what can we do? And the women on my left said, can we find or start a school? Will you support us? That's how St. Margaret started in 2000. It's an honor for us that we've walked this long journey since then to date.
St. Margaret College Makerere Chikoni have provided skills to over 156 students and have got WUBTEB certificates. Benon Mukwaya, Richard Chirembeka, UBC.
The State Minister for Lands, Dr. Sam Mayanja, has identified 3 key areas, including adherence to the Bamugemerere report, as pertinent in solving the land question in Uganda. He was at Caring Heart Victory Community Church in Kagula, Kachiri Wakiso District, in a Thanksgiving ceremony for being reinstated by President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni during the latest reshuffle.
The report, which the President approved, the recommendation were approved by the President, and he directed Cabinet, which set up a subcommittee to ensure that they implement those recommendations. That is one. That must be done. It has taken long, but it has to be done. Next, we must reform the Mairo tenure system, because you cannot have 2 interests on the same piece of land. Because you have a title and then you have a chibanja. You have the rights of a chibanja which are guaranteed by the Constitution. You have also the inviolability of the title. Those 2 must not be. And they are on the Mairo system, so the Mairo system must be amended. That's number 2. Number 3, everybody in Uganda must have a title, and we should have only one tenure system. You can't have some people having customary, others having freehold, others having leasehold. We must have one tenure system with everybody having a title in perpetuity for all Ugandans.
The National Children Authority has organized a community dialogue in Mbale City with religious leaders, police, cultural leaders, local council leaders to address the increasing number of street children. The National Chairman Authority boss, Martin Chiza, decried the increasing child neglect by parents. Now, at least 25,000 children are on the streets across Uganda, up from 15,000 in 2014.
Parents have been fronted for discriminating against their children, besides neglect of responsibilities, which has increased the number of children on the streets. Probation Social Welfare Officer in charge of Industrial City Division, Kalenda Sarah, says in Mbale City, children between 5 to 17 years are ever on streets and are engaged in child labor.
In Mbale, we have so many children on streets, and it is becoming a big threat to our communities, to our service providers, and everyone around. The reason as to why these children are ending up on the street, the parents have forgotten their role as parents. There is a lot of domestic violence within the communities, and the children are the ones who suffer as a consequence.
This was during training by National Children Authority to align responsibility of police, parents, religious leaders and local leaders. The Executive Director, National Children Authority, Martin Kiza, appealed to parents to refocus their responsibility.
Most of the parents in the region have neglected, have not played their roles responsibly as parents. And that's why they say really that children have been running to the streets. We've also discovered that particularly the fathers do not really take much interest in knowing, getting to know what affects their children. Most of the parents, the male parents, the fathers.
Some leaders explained causes of children to run on the streets.
We're the ones torturing those children. If you hear from those children their stories, parents, take your responsibilities. We have free education. Take responsibility of taking care of your children. Buy food. It is hunger which is making even these children come to streets.
Meanwhile, leaders living in Jinja and Busoga districts also spoke about child abuse. The National Children Authority, led by Martin Kiza, gave them training and advice on how to deal with children's issues.
So parents, please, you must sit down, talk to the children, both of you, the mother and the father.
We found out that Mbale City is among the leading, especially in terms of the numbers. They have so many children who are on the streets. So
street children are homeless and over 25,000 on streets in Uganda, 10,000 in Kampala, and 500 in Mbale City alone. Benon Mukwaya, Kayumba Stephen, UBC.
ASEZ, which is an acronym for Save the Earth from A to Z, an international volunteer group affiliated with the Church of God, has collaborated with Kampala Capital City Authority for a large-scale cleanup to endeavor that the city is clean, and this was at Kyambogo University. The event saw hundreds of volunteers from ASEZ alongside representatives from the Nakawa Municipality and KCCA converge upon the Kyambogo University campus to tackle environmental degradation.
The volunteers embarked on a mission to rid the university grounds of litter and waste.
Major aim to conduct the ASEZ activities actually to create awareness and make people know that having a better environment is the way forward for all humanity. Then also, one of the reasons why we conduct these activities also is to seek cooperation among our fellows, since cooperation is key for a better and sustainable environment with the UN SDGs goals.
The cleanup campaign, organized by ASEZ and local authorities, aimed at addressing environmental pollution. A volunteer in ASEZ, Rubangakane Brian David, emphasized collaborative action in tackling environmental challenges.
ASEZ has 3 activities, one of which is the Green Ship, and this aims at creating a better environment for all humankind and its preservation. The second activity is the prevention of crime.
The significance of such initiatives is to raise awareness about environmental conservation.
Most people do not cooperate, but even though they don't cooperate, we hope that one at a time, they will actually understand the value of this activity, and as time goes on, they will really know its impact and come to be part of those who promote the cleanness of the environment.
The cleanup campaign at Kyambogo University is collective action in addressing climate change. Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
Now, in Karamoja, challenges of distant schools, poor infrastructure, insecurity, forced marriages, parental neglect have impeded student education completion. Educators have united to improve completion rates, responding to the call for collective action against the challenges.
Lower primary classes in Karamoja are overcrowded, with over 100 learners per class. This reduced significantly in higher grades, thus affecting completion rates. Poverty, negative cultural views, and lack of resources hinder education, worsened by inadequate infrastructure and water scarcity.
Child of 6 years of age living here in Akichumet, all of you know Akichumet, walking every day to Matani Primary School, those about 10 kilometers. Can that child stay in school? That you are walking 10 kilometers, one journey, coming back 10 kilometers. You're walking about 20 kilometers every day. And that's why you see the dropout rate is high. Some of the children dropping out is because they cannot persist walking long distances to the nearest primary school.
Like lack of parental support, poor parental styles. Children are on their own, they want education, but the literacy of the parents bar them from. They don't really know.
Not every household will send the children to school. There are those that the parents will say, yes, let this one go and look after animals. Yes. Even in my family, as a district chairman, when my father made a decision to take me to school, there are those who are the firstborn and those behind me. All were taken to go and graze cows, look after animals.
But this population varies according to month. In the beginning of the year, around February, March, especially February, the enrollment is too high. But when it reaches March, the number drops, especially for the grown-up girls and boys. Why? Because they go to the gardens to help their parents dig or maybe graze the animals. That's one. Then around this season again, you find that this month, the crops are flowering in the gardens. So these very parents here tend to take back the children to take care of the crops by scaring birds.
Despite nationwide struggles, some students excel, but UNEB exam results from Kampala have worsened educational challenges in the region. Urgent action is needed to uplift education in Karamoja and raise completion rates, ensuring a brighter future for the youth.
Also thinking about putting in place ordinances and bylaws that will in the end be able to act as like a law that guards the child from getting out of school prematurely.
Joint effort from the LOC 5, LOC 3, LOC 2, LOC 1, SMC chairperson and its board, PTA and its board. So those people should have now what we call routine monitoring, joint monitoring, go back to school campaign, so that each man's voice or each woman's voice is heard.
Have affirmative action for Karamoja, and if not for Karamoja, at least for Naglatuk district, being a young district.
Necessary, forceful, and free education.
Life of a 35-year-old man in Uganda is usually a stage of establishing oneself and starting up a family. But for Tommy Diab, this was not the case, as he suffered a road accident that nearly ended his life in 2015. 9 years on, Diab is in a wheelchair with both physical and emotional pain, in addition to exorbitant medical expenses, yet without any meaningful source of income.
July 31st, 2015 is a day that Tommy Diab will not forget in his life. On the fateful day, Diab was knocked down by a speeding Pioneer Easy bus along Nigeria Kira Road in Kira Municipality, Wakiso District.
Nali musajja akola emirimu gyange nga ndi muzimbi yakwatanga.
I am a builder who used to get contracts. On that day, I decided to first take my vehicle for washing before going to work. I took a boda, and that's when I was knocked down by a speeding Pioneer bus. The bus driver tried to dodge another car that was coming. That's how he swerved into us and knocked me.
Kati atoli yajjira ku side zeri walala fenna twali tudda side yemu.
The accident did not only leave him with a spine twist which disabled his procreation, but cost him his employment abilities.
When I tried to get up, I realized my body had been shattered. I had severe injuries on this arm, my spine. Later, I could not even pass out urine.
Since then, Diab has been confined to a wheelchair. Efforts to correct and restore his physical abilities have seen Diab go as far as India, then Kenya.
Bagenda okuntuza nga wayise omwezi gumu n'ekitundu nagenda okulya nga mpuliranga.
After a month, I could not sit, not even in a wheelchair. They could just carry me in bed sheets. They operated me on this arm, but still it was not well done. Doctors at Mulago assured me how they could not handle my case, since it was the first of its kind. From 2015, when I was knocked, up to 2017, there was no progress in terms of treatment. We opted to collect money and successfully went to India. There everything went well. And just after 2 weeks, I had been enrolled on physiotherapy.
Unfortunately, Diab was in 2021 diagnosed with a severe infection that has had his lower belly slit to create way for urination process.
There and then, I stopped having physiotherapy now battling an infection on a daily.
Diab's medical prescription demands that he swallows a handful of medicines, most of them painkillers.
On a daily basis,
I swallow medicines worth 30,000 shillings on a daily basis. Some of these are pregabalin tablets that each cost 2,500 shillings, yet I take 4 every day. And if I do not take the medicines, I will suffer from severe heat, sweat, spasms.
And these are not only expensive, but very scarce, at least here in Uganda.
For example, the sun solution that I need for flushing my bladder is very scarce. To me, that means hell on earth.
Prosi Diab is the wife and mother of Tommy Diab's only 2 daughters. Caring for her beloved husband has been and continues to be an uphill task.
By then, mwami ono yafuna accident nali muto.
He got the accident when I was just 25 years, a stage when life is supposed to be sweet.
So
I choose to go to bed very late when I am too tired to harbor any thoughts. His sleeping posture is very scaring.
Prosi says she occasionally takes a break just to beef up on her emotional strength.
On few occasions, I take him to my in-laws, his parents, but still, I don't take long. I am the only one that can handle this condition. I have mastered how he sleeps, whereby I have to place pillows around him lest he develops bed sores.
For almost 4 years.
To her, justice for her beloved husband is the prayer request number 1. We wanted to know how Diab is able to fend for his family amidst all this.
I am a builder, so my former clients call me once in a while for contracts. But it is not easy. I risk a lot just to get what to feed my family, school fees for my children, and also for medication.
Amidst all this, Diab is yet to receive justice from Pioneer Easy Bus Company. Following the heart-wrenching accident, through his family, Diab attempted to seek for justice and Pioneer Easy Bus Company was dragged to court. According to Diab, at first, the legal process seemed like a walk in the park as they came this close to scope justice.
Your Pioneer Bus yakkiriza omusango awo Magistrate Court ey'ekira tikituufu namutomera.
For the driver, the matter was easy because he pleaded guilty and he compensated me as an individual. When it came to Pioneer Easy Bus Company, we faced some hiccups. We suspect there was some connivance between the company and some legal officers.
Diab successfully challenged this ruling in the Court of Appeal. It is at this stage that the matter was taken to Supreme Court, this time round by Pioneer Easy Bus Company. With close to 2 years without justice in sight, yet still on a long and uncertain road to recovery, Diab is worried that he might not live to taste justice.
It is now 2 years. We are still waiting for the ruling, but Pioneer Easy Bus Company still insists on not compensating me.
So, babere bakisa. At least
if only they could exercise fairness and compassion, at least we should be compensated. We get a piece of land on which we can put up rentals to cater for school fees and for our children.
By the time of this report, we had been informed that Diab is back at Mulago National Referral Hospital for a surgery on his bladder. According to the annual police report of 2022, a total of 21,473 people were victims of road accidents. Of these, 4,534 did not survive. Dorcas Kimono, UBC News.
Fred!
Osmosis.
Freddy! Fred Dollar, my boss, CEO Inojo, the general of generals, the conqueror of conquerors, the first and the final, the sky above the skies, the promised land, the terms and the conditions, the international king crocodile, the source of the
Osmosis.
the Nile.
I don't have money today.
Just take a polite loan of 200k to stock my shop. The signs and symptoms of success. The bank commander, not the bank teller.
Why hassle for a loan when you've got MTN Momo? We're sorting. Use the Momo app or dial *165*5# for all quick loans. Choose from the different loan options from our partners and get one that works for you. Together, we're unstoppable. We've hit refresh with Castle Lights. A premium new look. With the shiny silver label. An innovative cold indicator. A premium green neck label. For a crisp and easy drinking beer. Fresh new look. Experience the fresh Newcastle Light.
Welcome back. You're still watching the UBC News, broadcasting live from Nile Avenue. Now, there has been a mobilization baraza program on service delivery in Bukoma and Simbi, Kalungu district in Greater Masaka region. Now, this program was introduced into the country under the Office of the President, overseen by the Minister for Presidency, Mili Babidie, to monitor government programs on the theme mobilization program on service delivery for wealth creation. All RDCs and COWs were supposed to head these meetings in places of their choice for all the meetings.
In her opening remarks, Sister Mary Grace Akiroro, the Commissioner Northern Region, while in Masaka with Major Martha Asimwe, said that citizens should be on the lookout for these funds which were given to them by the local government officials and to see if they were used by the local citizens. While here, Sister Akilolo urged them to be vigilant.
Teamwork produces results. Can never work alone. Absence of teamwork derails the whole system. And when we talk about service delivery, friends, brothers, sisters, let us not mix politics with this.
The chairman of LOC5 Kalungu District, Ahmed Nyombi Muchibi, informed the team of the different challenges they are facing, which include late arrival of money in quarters, the inappropriate funds, and asked the government to increase on their funding because the revenue they collect in the district is less.
These challenges may not be unique to Masaka State, but we have understaffing, we have few staff, we have 108 out of the expected 174 health workers. This one affects effective service delivery. Then the other one is the lack of funds, wage, because we must have wage if we are to recruit additional health workers.
The PDM officer Kalungu explained that funds were given out to the beneficiaries. However, some defaulted and were arrested. Mr. Matovu Honesty further noted with concern that since it was COVID time, people used the money extravagantly, thinking it was a package from President Museveni.
Out of the 614 enterprise groups, 214 were women. 166 groups are made up of youth. And 15 groups are for the PWDs, people with disabilities. And we had one group for the elderly. Then 218 groups. We termed it as mixed groups because it had both women and men and the others.
Don't permit us to use any of this money to hire equipment. So sometimes we have money, but we are stuck. We have to keep on begging around for equipment, and in most cases, the time we receive money is the same time when our neighbors also have received money.
When we get funds, wherever it comes from, I don't have money in my pocket. Everybody knows money comes from government. Who doesn't know that? But if it comes from government and it doesn't do what it is supposed to do, then the problem comes on accountability. So because we have got this small money and used it appropriately, you thank us because you can see what we are doing.
Beneficiaries are crying. They were actually worried that the man is back in office and he has started from where he stopped. So when he noticed that we had taken this matter seriously, he started making individual calls to people who were going to report him, intimidating them.
The RDC Kalungu district confirmed all the arrests, and the Committee for District Service Delivery and Assessment, which was launched by the officers from the President's office, Major Martha Asimu and Sister Grace Mary Akerol. The team is supposed to meet quarterly to analyze and report on service delivery and economic performance in the district.
The Minister of ICT and National Guidance, Dr. Chris Bosi, said that it is good to use professional nurses to care for dear ones, especially the elderly. He said that government will support such services for the better health of Ugandans while officiating at a preview of the movie called Caregiver at National Theatre. Dr. Chris Bosi encouraged busy youth to always take their sickly parents and other elders under their care to accredit nursing homes.
A nurse who is here to take care of you.
So we are addressing that issue through legislation and policy to make sure that you benefit from your talents of acting, of music, and all of these other areas. So I want to appreciate the actors, the people in the film, and as far as I'm concerned, you acted very well.
This movie, The Caregiver, it's a sensitization basically of what happens in the field when nurses are caring for the elders. So it is bringing up the home setting and how the family treats the nurses in that. And it's based on a true story, by the way. It's based on a true story. There is nothing that is happening in that movie that is not true. But we have brought it up in a way of drama. We are also, it also brings out some complicated patients. Yeah, you can be caring for the patient and the patient is very complicated. You advise this, the patient wants to do that. So basically, and it has in some love matters. The nurse has gone to work somewhere, and then the family members, if they have big sons around, they will, get attracted to this nurse. But how does the nurse handle to be able to overcome that temptation? So it is a very good movie.
As we want these services to be known to all people, because people are suffering with patients. Patients don't have caregivers, and some caregivers are relatives. Relatives don't know what they are doing. Relatives are pissing off the patients. So when you get a professional nurse as your caregiver, the mind is at peace, and the mind of someone who is your loved ones are at peace, that there is someone who is taking care of you. We don't say that everyone they take care of does not die. They do die. But you...
State Minister for Public Service, Grace Mary Mugasa, has called upon women to utilize the PDM and GROW projects. which are helping women grow their capital. Now, she was saying this at Bulisa District Women's Day on the theme Accelerating Gender Equality, Women Economic Empowerment.
The celebrations commenced with a marching parade by Uganda Police, UPDF, Uganda Wildlife Force, Uganda Prisons, women groups and school children. Total Energies and stakeholders in the oil and gas sector supported the Bulisa District belated Women's Day celebrations. State Minister for Public Service Grace Mary Mugasa called upon all women not to miss out on PDM and GROW project funds, which economically empower women. She was speaking during Women's Day celebrations at Katodio Playground Town Council in Bulisa District on the theme Accelerating Gender Equality and Women Empowerment.
Much as we have introduced PDM here, we cannot succeed if the elephants are still destroying their crops. Then we have also talked about other programs like the GROW project, which is intended to make women entrepreneurs enlarge their capital base. And we are going to train them so that they can benefit from this money.
Bulisa District Woman Member of Parliament Nora Bigirwa Mutiti said women must remain exemplary leaders as they strive to make prosperous families.
We want to be part of the theme for accelerating gender equality through economic empowerment. We have done this as leaders. I have done this moving in each and every village, empowering women economically.
Bulisa District MP Alana Tugonza appealed to stakeholders on job opportunities for the local community.
We have realized the outcry is too much. This oil and gas, be specific, the contractors, they are advertising jobs when they have already occupied them.
Chibale District Woman MP Noelina Kisembo urged women to be at the forefront in fostering development.
Economic empowerment that the NRM government has fought for is not for the women to subdue men, no. It is for both men and women in our families to work together and foster development.
Meanwhile, the Bulisa women groups appreciated President Museveni for introducing PDM, Emioga and GROW project. Abiona Francisco, UBC.
The ATM Force contributing countries set up to ensure that that peace in Somalia is there after the Al-Shabaab attacks terrorized Somalia have applauded the UN and ATM for providing them with experience and job opportunities. We had an engagement with them in Somalia where they drive Mambas, armored vehicles used in warfare.
Chantelu wa Maria, an individual police officer attached to Naguru police station in Uganda and an inspector of police in ATM Force, a resident of Chisoro, prepares to start her daily routine as a Mamba driver. Wa Maria first analyzes the condition of her car from the outer look, checking the tires before entry.
You see, when we are setting off our cars,
okay. Wa Maria, before starting the engine, first cross-checks with the interior system.
it goes above 6. That's when I know now that my car is ready to start.
To ascertain her capability, I went on to a road drive with her in various camps in Mogadishu. She says she initiated the idea from fellow women whom she met do the same job upon arrival in Somalia.
They always train us for 2 weeks. And if you are interested, when you are interested in learning something, you don't need a lot of time to learn. So they train us for only 2 weeks. But because we drive them daily, you keep gaining experience.
Even though she does the job with passion, she lives in miserable threat of attacks anytime.
They do, because they are always there on the road, but we always maneuver. We always maneuver them. We love them. We drive slowly. When they refuse to go off-road, we have to give them time.
Despite the experience and skills given to her by ATMIS, Wa Maria will miss the opportunity to drive this type of vehicle once she returns home, as the local police doesn't permit this.
Because even in Uganda, we don't have ladies who drive these big cars. Yes. But unfortunately, maybe in Uganda, they don't allow officers to drive. You can't be a police driver when you're an officer. That's the unfortunate part of it. But if they would allow us, I would be very happy to drive those big cars in police.
Uwa Maria, however, cites challenges she faces in the execution of her work.
Civilians who see us around here, we don't normally talk to them because we are just passing through. So we don't talk to them. But
Dorcas Ndagwa from Kenya lauded Artemis for the opportunity granted to her, which has seen her progress in life.
Driving Mambas, especially for me, it's a great opportunity because back home, I've never had this chance of driving such big vehicles. Despite us having them, it is considered as vehicles for men only. So for me, it's a big opportunity. I've had the exposure, the experience. I've been driving them here for 3 months. We thank God.
I'm Ivan Juko for UBC.
Fred!
Osmosis.
Freddy! Fred Dollar, my boss, CEO Inojo, the general of generals, the conqueror of conquerors, the first and the final, the sky above the skies, the promised land, the terms and the conditions, the international king crocodile, the source of the
Osmosis.
Nile.
I don't have money today.
Just take a polite loan of 200k to stock on my shop. The signs and symptoms of success. The bank commander, not the bank teller.
Why hassle for a loan when you've got MTN Momo? We're sorting it. Use the Momo app or dial *165*5# for all quick loans. Choose from the different loan options from our partners and get one that works for you. Together, we're unstoppable.
Welcome back, and it's now time for sports news. Uganda Woodball Federation has hosted its second outing of the Buganda Land Board sponsored league. It was at the University of Kisubi along Entebbe Road.
A 100% club's attendance has been witnessed at the second outing of the Buganda Land Board sponsored Uganda Woodball Federation League, hosted at University of Kisubi along Entebbe Road.
This is our first time to host the Uganda Woodball League, and I think so far everything's moving on well. Our strength, first of all, is on our ground. When you look at the ground, it is very good. It is well slashed and it is a bit flat, so it is good for bowlers, and I'm sure they have not found a very big challenge in the ground.
In the action, Kampala International University's Tone Sechene bettered all men, with Moses Agab of Kampala University and Stroke Woodball Club's Thomas Keddy in second and third respectively. In the women's category, Ndeje University player Alvera Mukama Arinda was number 1. University of Kisubi's Webile Naloga second, and Lilian Zawid of Kampala University third. Uganda Woodball Federation President Paul Mark Kayongo graced the occasion and was elated by the quality and quantity.
The performance is high, the players are very motivated, the turn-up is good, and we are very grateful to our various stakeholders, especially the club owners who give the support to their clubs and the players to see that they participate at this level.
In the club's standings, Prisons dominated the day with 18 points, Stroke in second on 16, and Kampala International University in third on 15 among the men. In the women's standing, Ndeje University was atop with 18 points, followed by Ministry of Public Service and Kampala University on 16 and 15 points respectively. Ahead of the third round on 11th May, Prisons and Stroke Woodball Club topped the men's standings with 25 points, while Ndeje University sits pretty with 27 among the ladies.
And that brings us to the end of the last bulletin this weekend. Thank you for being a lovely audience. My name is Wadulo Mark Arnold. Muhammad Mugalu has been on the sign language, and we do give thanks to our production team and producers. Thank you very much and have yourselves a lovely week.
As around Lake Victoria Basin had cloudy conditions.
My name is Juliet Nanteza with the latest weather updates from Uganda National Meteorological Authority. When we take a look at the satellite imagery today, it shows that the rain belt is widely spread. That's why we are having these rains in various areas. In the morning central, we expect to wake up with light showers along Lake Victoria Basin. Elsewhere, we expect to wake up with sunny intervals. Eastern, we expect to wake up with light showers in most areas. The western stretch, we expect to wake up with light showers in most areas, apart from areas around Masindi, where we expect to wake up with sunny intervals. In the north, we expect to wake up with light showers in most areas, apart from Arua, where we expect sunny intervals. Later on in the afternoon, maximum temperatures are expected to rise to 25 along Lake Victoria Basin in central, 27 for Nakasongola and 26 for Mubende with isolated showers. Eastern, we expect a maximum of 28 along Lake Victoria Basin. Soroti, we expect a maximum of 29 with isolated showers. The western stretch, we expect a maximum of 29 for Kasese. Masindi and Mbara, we expect a maximum of 27. And Kabale Highlands, we expect a maximum of 23 with light showers. In the north, we expect a maximum of 29 in the Karamoja region. Elsewhere, we expect a maximum of 30 with light showers. For world forecast, Doha, we expect a maximum of 33. Lagos, we expect a maximum of 34. Washington, we expect a maximum of 32. And Beijing and London, we expect a maximum of only 16 with cloudy conditions. That's all we had for you from Uganda National Meteorological Authority. Have a blessed week ahead.